All right, question of the week in MBLEx review number 45. Our question is, which of the following forms would a self-employed massage therapist file for their individual tax return? Is it going to be A, Form 1065, B, Form 1099, C, Form 4868, or D, Form 1040? Again, one more time. Which of the following forms would a self-employed massage therapist file for their individual tax return? Form 1065, Form 1099, Form 4868, or Form 1040? So I'll give you a few moments to work on this one, and then we'll go ahead and head over to the explanation. All right, so in the community tab, I asked you, which of the following forms would a self-employed massage therapist file for their individual tax return? And we had 29 votes here. 0% of you said it was going to be Form 1065. 90% of you said it was going to be Form 1099. 0% of you said it was going to be Form 4868. And 10% of you said it was going to be Form 1040. And then thank you to the 5 people who liked this post. So a majority, 90% of you said it was going to be Form 1099. And then we only had 10% here that said it was going to be Form 1040. So let's see which one of these ones is correct. So let's look at this question again and look for some key words here. Which of the following forms would a self-employed massage therapist file for their individual tax return? Well, we know that self-employed, that's important, right? The therapist is working for themselves, and the therapist is going to file their individual tax return. That is also important. So we're also going to get rid of A and we're going to get rid of C because those were 0% on the community tab. Now, they are important. I would encourage you to make sure that you know what a 1065 is and a 4868 is as well. However, we are between either B, Form 1099, or D, Form 1040, right? 90% said 1099 and 10% said 1040. So let's see what these are. A 1099 is a therapist who is doing any type of freelance work. That also means non-employee, right? And so many of you seen self-employed, right? Somebody who's self-employed is a non-employed. That's basically they are working for themselves. But this form is just a way for payers. So in this example, I work for a medical massage therapy company, right? And at the end of the year, they're going to issue me a 1099. What that 1099 does is it allows me to also submit that into the IRS. They have to submit it in their end as well. And lets the IRS know that I was paid X, Y, and Z amount of money, right? And so it's just another form that says that I made income doing freelance work as a non-employee, right? Now, a Form 1040 is going to report all income, right? That the taxpayer made, all income, right? So this is going to be Form 1099 as well as a W-2 form, right? If I'm an employee. And so this is all income. And a Form 1040 is known as an individual tax return. So at the end of the year, last year, I had to file a Form 1040, which I had a 1099 from the medical massage therapy company I work for right now. And I also had a W-2 from my employer at the time. And so that is the correct answer. D, Form 1040, which is an individual tax return. So don't get that confused just because you see self-employed that you're doing a Form 1099. This is for freelance work. And so 10% of you got this right. Now, I do need you to make sure that you know for the MBLEx what a Form 1065 is, what a Form 1099, what a Form 4868, and what a Form 1040 is as well. So let me go ahead and show you something. If you go to my Patreon page, in my MBLEx review courses, there is a course on a basic understanding of taxes. And so right here, if you look, there is also a study guide. And so while you're watching this video, let me show you just a quick preview real quick. State you live in, you may also have to pay in a state income tax. So let's go ahead and look at these different forms. The first one we have is a Form 1040. This is an individual income tax return. 1040. I'd encourage you, make sure that you know that. The next one we have is a 1065. And so I cover all of these forms, and here is that study guide that I was talking about. You download this study guide and print it out, and as you're going along, you're going to fill it out. So here's 1040, Form 1065, Form 1120, and you're going to follow. It talks about income taxes. It talks about self-employment taxes. Here's that Form 1099. We need to make sure we understand what that is. We talk about sales taxes, local business taxes, Tax deductions. We need to make sure we understand what those are. What are deductions? Why are deductions deducted? How do deductions impact net income? We talk about record keeping. We talk about types of records to keep, tax filing requirements, tax filing deadlines, tax payment deadlines, estimated tax payments, penalties, and interest. We talk about everything that you should understand before you go into the MBLEx. And I leave these blank so that while you're watching the video, you can fill those out, and hopefully it'll help you build the memory of what we are discussing in the review course. And so it's basically everything you should understand before you go into the MBLEx, and all consolidated into one video. So I would encourage you, if you missed this question, I would encourage you to definitely check out my Patreon page and make sure you have a basic understanding of taxes before you go into the MBLEx. Because real quick, this question is similar to a question that I got out of that MBLEx study guide from FSMTB. And if you don't know who they are, these are the people who create the MBLEx, right? Of course, it's not the same question because I can't use their questions, but I made it into my questions where I asked you which one of these forms is the one that is an individual tax return. And so the correct answer here was Form 1040, and only 3 of you got this correct. And so I would encourage you, definitely check out the Patreon page. Go check out that video or jump back into your textbooks and your study notes and make sure that you're understanding this information before you go into the MBLEx, because it is a challenging exam. So I would encourage you to do that before you go into the MBLEx, okay? All right. Y'all have a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you in the next question of the week. Y'all take care.